Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 46 of No Whining. I hope you are ready to get rockin' and rollin'. Let's get into our first wine of the episode. This is a 2018 Famille Lieubeau Muscadet Clisson Sèvres et Maine. This is around $30, and the grape variety on this is Melon de Bourgogne, which is also known as Melon Blanc. Now this is a frost-resistant grape variety, which comes in really handy because this is being grown in the cool maritime climate of the Muscadet Sèvres et Maine appellation in the Pays Nantais region of the Loire Valley, which is actually right along the western coast of France. And this area is quite frost prone. Now, that's typically going to be a problem in the spring, and if the buds start to break and you have that that greenery coming to life, and then all of a sudden a frost sets in and jacks up all your vines, it can also jack up your entire harvest, or at the minimum put you way behind schedule, and it's going to reduce yield significantly. So again, being a frost resistant grape variety is very handy here. Okay, Muscadet is actually a great wine to have with oysters, clams, mussels, and creamy sauces and dressing. So a little bit of a pro tip there. Here is some information from the producer's website. South of Nantes, Clisson is the most beautiful village in Muscadet. Breton and Italian, rock and romantic. Am I the only one who feels like that is very cryptic? Okay, and I was so confused by it. I was like, is it a translation issue? Which that might be part of it, but it just didn't make any sense. So I dug a little deeper, and here's what I actually think they're referring to. So Breton is a Celtic language spoken in Brittany, or they would say Bretagne, which is France's northwesternmost region. So there you have that. And then when it was talking about Italian, that was referring to the architecture in that area. See, that is helpful details to have. That is why I'm here working hard to bring you the very best so that you can know more and more about whining. Okay, so I'll start that sentence over. South of Nantes, Clisson is the most beautiful village in Muscadet. Breton and Italian, rock and romantic. Makes a lot more sense now. Made from old vines on granite soil, organic cultivation of hand-harvested grapes, pneumatic pressing of whole bunches, 2 years of aging on the lees in underground vats. So that is all the vinification process and the winemaking process, I should say. Now, why so much aging, right? Like, why 2 years of aging on the lees? Well, here's the deal. Muscadet wines from the area of Pays Nantais can be classified as simple Muscadet, or the higher Muscadet Sèvres et Maine, or the even higher Muscadet Sèvres et Maine sur Lee, which means on the lees, or in this wine's case, it's a Clisson, which carries an even higher designation and cru status, and these cru wines must be aged for at least 24 months sur lee, or on the lees. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's dig into this wine. It sounds delicious. I hope that it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this wine looks clear to me. Certainly no hazes or sediment, anything like that in here. I'm going to call this a pale lemon green. I think there's a little bit of a green hue in there maybe, so that's what we're calling it. And I'm going to go with medium viscosity on the sides of the glass. Okay, let's take it to the schnoz. This wine is clean on the nose. It is certainly youthful and medium minus intensity aromas. Kicking us off here with a little bit of lemon zest. Also picking up on a little bit of like candied grapefruit. Okay, we've got some underripe pear and melon. There's certainly some mineral notes here. I'm going to describe it as like a crushed stone. It's got some floral character in it as well. I'm going to go with orange blossom on that. And then kind of rounding out, there's a little bit of like a sourdough bread type of an aroma. Okay, that is it for the schnoz. Time to take it to the jaws. That is dry. Got a medium minus body, I'd say, like medium alcohol. definitely high on the acid profile, but this is a really, really nice wine. And I'm going to say medium on the intensity of flavors, but it's sticking around. Like, it has a really nice finish on it. I'm going to call it medium plus, and it's like a mineral and a citrus finish. So this is very good, right? Like nice defined flavors and aromas. It's got that amazing mouthfeel to it, right? Like that aging on the lees, I think, is where a lot of that is coming from. They did a beautiful job bringing that element in, because otherwise this wine would just be like, it would be fine, but it would just be another high acid wine with that would be fine for pairing with basic appetizers and things of that nature, but it wouldn't have like that delightful mouthfeel to it. And I think that really adds a lot of character to this. That being said, I'm going to say this is not suitable for bottle aging. This is the type of wine that it's supposed to be drunk while it's young and fresh and vibrant, and it is all of those things right now. So that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to our second wine of the episode. This is a 2020 Franco Serra Barolo. This is around $45, and this wine is coming from the Barolo region in the hills of Piemonte in northwest Italy. And this is a moderate continental climate. Now, this is a DOCG wine, which is the highest classification level in Italy's system, so that's important to know. And you're always going to know as well that wines carrying the Barolo label are going to be made from 100% Nebbiolo grapes. Now, they also have to be aged, right? Like, this is part of the classification system. If you put something on the label, there's a lot of stipulations around it, especially for a DOCG wine. Okay, and these wines also have to be aged Barolos for a minimum of 38 months, with 18 of those months being in barrel. And this is in large part because Barolo wines really need some time to become more approachable. They are very, very high tannin wines. You need some time for those tannins to soften up, allow, like I said, the wine to become more approachable, and that is where the aging comes into play. Now, most can easily age in bottle for 10 to 20 years, all the way up to 30 to 50 years in some cases. So this is one of those wines you can definitely age for a long time. The wine we started with, the Muscadet, you can age it a little bit, but it's not, you wouldn't want to leave that in your cellar for 15 years and then come back to it, because it's going to be probably unpleasant. Okay, next up, we've got some snippets for you from the tech sheet. It says, Franco Serra is produced by the Sperone family, who have been making affordable premium wines for 4 generations. And then the tech sheet kind of goes on to tell the tale of the business being handed down over the different decades, and then says, in 1983, the family purchased 75 acres of prime vineyards in Piemonte and built a new winery in the small town of Monbarusso, just outside Monferrato. In 2006, brother and sister Andrea and Francesca became the 4th Sperone generation to join the company. Even as prices fetched for wines from this increasingly fashionable region continue to climb, the Sperone family proudly focuses on value. It's very interesting. Franco Serra provides everyone with the opportunity to drink thoughtfully crafted, distinctive wines from Italy's most renowned region. And by the way, like, to that point, this is actually an incredibly reasonably priced Barolo DOCG wine, so it definitely is. All right, it says south-facing vineyards at 900 feet of elevation on calcareous lime and chalk soil. Temperature-controlled fermentation in stainless steel tanks for 4 weeks with 3 weeks maceration. Aged 3 years in 20% new oak and 3 months in bottle prior to release. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, this wine is clear. It is a pale garnet color. You can see through that quite nicely, maybe not on the video, but certainly if you have the wine in front of you, you're seeing what I'm seeing. And viscosity looks pretty high to me. So we're going to go with high for now. Let's take it to the schnoz. Wow, that is gorgeous on the nose, my goodness. Okay. Ooh, okay, that's clean. It is developing. I'm going to say medium plus intensity aromas, and kicking things off with dried red cherry and strawberry. Got some dried basil leaf and rose petal in here. Got some plum and raisin as well. vanilla, some earth as well, like a truffle type of an aroma, and also a little bit of a minerality like chalk. All right, I'm gonna call the last couple in here anise and then tobacco. Okay, let's send it to the jaws. Okay, this is stunning, first of all. My goodness. Okay, concentrate, Brian. Alrighty, this is a dry wine. It is definitely, I would say, full body. It's got high alcohol on it, high acid, and high like chalky tannins as well. Smooth, velvety texture, and like medium plus flavors, right? Flavor intensity. The finish is nice and long, so this wine is definitely, I would call this outstanding. It's bold, it's complex, it's elegant. Like, this has so much going on. Seamless integration of flavors. This is an amazing Nebbiolo. Like, I am very, very happy with this. I'm definitely gonna say that it is suitable for bottle aging. I just think it's gonna get better and better and better. I think those earthy and rustic components have even more to contribute. And as we talked about earlier, Nebbiolo and Barolos are definitely wines that you can age. And so I think you could put another, honestly, like another 5 years on this. I think it is going to be in its prime, but then I suspect that that's actually, like, it's gonna have a wide window of prime. Wow, I am loving this. I am pretty smitten. So these are both great wines. Let's bring these in. Now we must pick a winner. This Muscadet was absolutely fabulous. I did not expect much from this, to be honest with you, and it surprised me. Like, it definitely had a lot more to offer than I was anticipating, so this pleased me quite a bit. However, I'm going to give the nod to this Nebbiolo, to this Barolo, because I am smitten with it. This is one of the probably top 3 or 4 wines in terms of just sheer enjoyment that I've had in the last probably 6 to 8 months. So that is definitely saying something. So we're giving the nod to the Barolo today. I want to remind you before we sign off here to check out the videos I included links to down in the description, because those videos are going to give you so much more perspective as they kind of show you the vineyard and the areas that these wines come from, as well as the winemaking practices, things from the cellar, the winemakers themselves, and it's just a magnificent way to know more about wining. So I hope you enjoy those as well. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you back here in the next one.